In the bustling city of Lagos, where the noise of car horns mixed with the cries of street hawkers, there lived a little girl named Amara. She was no more than 12 years old, yet her eyes carried a depth that made people pause. Those who looked closely would see a quiet sadness, the kind that came from sleeping on cold pavements and dreaming of a better life. Amara's mother, Ngozi, once sold roasted corn by the roadside, but sickness had struck her like a thief in the night, a strange illness that left her weak and bedridden in the government hospital at Ikea. Amara spent her days begging for money to buy her mother's medicines and food. She had no father, no relatives, and no home. Her life was the open street, her blanket the wind. But Amara had a secret, a gift that frightened even her. She could see things before they happened. Sometimes she would dream of a car crash before dawn, and by morning people would gather at the scene she had seen in her sleep. Once she warned a neighbor boy not to climb a mango tree because she saw him fall. He ignored her and broke his arm that same day. Her gift was both a blessing and a curse, for no one believed her until it was too late. One bright Monday morning, Amara went to the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, hoping to beg from travelers. People in clean clothes walked past her as if she were invisible. Some frowned, others dropped a few naira notes into her dirty hand. But Amara didn't complain. She smiled and whispered, "God bless you," to each one. As she stood near the entrance, something strange happened. Her head began to spin, her eyes clouded, and suddenly she saw a vision. In the vision, a large airplane took off into the sky. It was bright and beautiful at first, but moments later she saw fire, flames tearing through metal, screams, smoke, and falling debris. She gasped and held her chest, trembling. Then she saw one man's face clearly. Tall, dark, and proud. His suit was fine, his shoes polished like mirrors. People called him Chief, bowing as he passed. When the vision cleared, she saw the very same man walking toward the departure gate, suitcase in hand, ticket in pocket. It was Chief Olabode Williams, a billionaire businessman known all over Nigeria for his success and wealth. Amara's heart pounded. She ran towards him, shouting, "Sir! Sir! Please don't go. Please, you must not enter that plane." The guards quickly stopped her. "Get away from the chief," one of them barked, but she struggled, crying out, "Please, the plane will crash. I saw it. Don't go, sir." Chief Williams turned briefly, frowning. "Who is this dirty child disturbing the peace?" he asked. "Probably mad," one guard replied, dragging her back. But Amara broke free and fell on her knees before him. Tears streaked her dusty face as she said, "Sir, I'm not mad. I saw it. Your plane will not reach its destination. If you go, you will never see tomorrow." The chief sighed impatiently. "Young girl, do you know how many people say strange things to me every day?" "I don't have time for this. Please," she begged again, voice trembling. "My mother is dying in the hospital, and I don't have time for lies. But what I saw, it's true. You can call me crazy, but I would rather look foolish than watch another soul die." There was something in her tone, so firm, so desperate, that made the billionaire pause. Her eyes, they were not the eyes of a liar. They carried the kind of truth that cannot be faked. He hesitated. "All right," he said at last, turning to his assistant. "Cancel my flight." "Let's wait till evening." The assistant tried to protest. "Sir, we'll miss the meeting in London." "I said cancel it," the chief repeated firmly. Amara wept with relief as she thanked him over and over, bowing deeply. "God bless you, sir." "Thank you for believing." 3 hours later, news broke across every station. A Lagos to London flight had crashed shortly after takeoff. There were no survivors. It was the same plane Amara had warned him about. The chief stood frozen in front of the television at the VIP lounge, hands shaking. The ticket in his pocket was for that very flight. His name should have been on the passenger list. He turned to his assistant. "Where is that girl?" They searched everywhere in the airport until they found her sitting outside, holding her mother's hospital card and a plastic bag of medicine someone had just donated. She looked up timidly as they approached. Chief Williams knelt before her, tears in his eyes. "You saved my life," he said softly. "Tell me your name, my child." "Amara," she whispered. "It means grace." He smiled. "Indeed, you are grace itself." That day changed everything. Chief Williams visited her mother in the hospital, paid for her treatment, and moved them both into a proper home. Ngozi slowly recovered, and Amara began attending school for the first time in her life. Years passed since that unforgettable day at the Lagos airport. Amara Grace, once a barefoot beggar, now walked with purpose. The world had not forgotten the girl who saved a billionaire's life. Chief Olabode Williams kept his promise. He adopted Amara like a daughter, sent her to one of the best schools in Victoria Island, and ensured her mother, Ngozi, received the best care money could buy. For the first time in her life, Amara slept under a real roof, with food on her plate and books by her bed. But something strange began to happen. Her visions, the ones that once came like whispers, now grew stronger. They came at unexpected hours. Sometimes during class, sometimes in her dreams, and each time they showed her moments of danger or tragedy. At first, she tried to ignore them. She wanted to live like other girls, laugh, study, and plan her future. But fate had already chosen her path. One night, she dreamed of a mighty river, dark and swollen, swallowing a bridge whole. She saw dozens of people trapped in a yellow bus, screaming as the current pulled them under. She woke up sweating, heart pounding. She told her mother, who held her hand and said, "Amara, maybe it's just fear. Pray about it." But 2 days later, as they drove to school, the radio announced breaking news. A public bus had plunged into the Ogun River after a bridge collapse. No one survived. Amara froze. It was the exact image from her dream. That was when she realized her gift was growing. As word spread of her sight, people began to come. Reporters, preachers, and even politicians. Some called her a prophet. Others called her a fraud. Some feared her. Many wanted to use her. Chief Williams tried to protect her, but even he couldn't shield her from the world's hunger for miracles. At 17, Amara was invited to events to pray for safety. Cameras flashed whenever she arrived, her once simple life now surrounded by fame and expectation. But inside, she felt lost. She whispered often, "Why me, Lord? Why give me eyes that see sorrow before it comes?" One evening, Chief Williams called her to his study. His face looked troubled. "Amara," he began softly, "you've been quiet these days. The press is saying things again, that you predict disaster for fame." "I don't want fame, Papa," she replied. "I just want peace." "Every vision feels like carrying a storm inside." He nodded sadly. "Then maybe your gift is not for show. Maybe it's for saving lives quietly, the way you saved mine." She smiled faintly. "That's all I want." But as fate would have it, Amara's peace was about to be tested in a way she could never imagine. A few weeks later, Amara had another vision, the strongest yet. She saw a tower engulfed in flames, people crying for help from the windows. She heard explosions, and amid the smoke, she saw Chief Williams inside, trapped. She screamed awake, tears running down her face. She ran to his room, shaking him awake. "Papa! Papa, don't go to your office today. Please don't go." He frowned, rubbing his eyes. "Amara, what's wrong?" "I saw fire. Your office, the building burning." He looked at her kindly but sighed. My child, I have an important meeting with foreign investors. I can't just cancel because of a dream, but Papa, I saw you trapped. Please, I beg you, don't go. Seeing her so shaken, he finally agreed. All right, I'll delay it till tomorrow. Happy. She nodded weakly. Thank you. The next day, Chief Williams' driver brought the news that left Amara speechless. The Williams corporate tower had caught fire early that morning. Just as she saw, an electrical fault had sparked the inferno. Dozens of workers were rescued, but several floors collapsed. Had he gone, he would have been there. The chief was shaken to the core. He hugged Amara tightly and whispered, "You are my guardian angel. I owe my life to you. Twice now." But that night, Amara sat alone in her room, tears flowing. Each vision saved lives, yes, but each one also drained her soul. She felt like she was carrying everyone's pain. Weeks later, while walking home from church with her mother, a strange old woman appeared on the roadside. Her clothes were ragged, her hair gray, and her eyes shone with a light that made Amara's heart pound. "Amara Grace," the woman said softly, "child who sees beyond the veil. Do not run from your gift." Amara froze. How do you know my name?" The woman smiled. "Because I walk where you walk. You see tomorrow because you were chosen to protect it." "Chosen," Amara whispered. "Yes," the woman said, stepping closer. "But be careful. There are others who see what you see, and not all of them serve the light." Before Amara could reply, thunder roared and lightning flashed across the sky. When she blinked, the woman was gone. From that day, Amara began to feel it, a presence watching her. At night, she saw flashes of shadow in her dreams, dark figures whispering her name. One night, a voice said, "Give us the sight, and we will give you peace." She woke up screaming, clutching her chest. Ngozi and Chief Williams rushed in. "Amara, what happened?" "There's something coming," she whispered. "Something dark. And I think I'm the only one who can stop it." To be continued.